Hello students, how are you? I hope you are fine. Dear students, let us continue with chapter 5, a very interesting story about a scientist whose name was Griffin. Okay, chapter 5, Footprints Without Feet. In your textbook, Footprints Without Feet. So, as we know that this story is about a scientist whose name was Griffin. Griffin discovered some rare chemical uh, becoming invisible. He was first noticed by two boys in staircase of a house where they could just see the footsteps and started following it. So they followed it until the footsteps are fainter and cannot be seen. First, as he is feeling cold, he enters a mall for some warmth. After the stores shut down, he decides to wear some warm clothes and eat something. He first unboxes a few clothes and wears them. Then, from the kitchen of a restaurant, he eats cold meat and some coffee. Later, he goes to a grocery store and eats sweets and drinks wine. He then falls asleep on a pile of quilts. He then wakes up in the morning when some of the store assistants had seen him and started chasing him. He quickly threw away all the clothes he was wearing and became invisible again. Then he started roaming around again without any clothes in the cold winter of London. He then decides to steal clothes from a theatre company as he knew he would get something there to cover his face as well. He then steals bandages for his face, dark glasses, false nose, and a hat for covering himself. He then hits the shopkeeper and steals all the money. Soon he realizes that London is too crowded to live like this and decides that he would go to a remote village, Iping. He books 2 rooms at an inn at the Iping village. After reaching Iping village, he started living in Mrs. Hall's inn. So the people of Iping also they started talking about the stranger because in that mid-winter they did not expect any such strange guest. Then suddenly once again he started running out of money and he committed theft in clergyman's home. Okay, so now let us continue. So dear students, till this paragraph I explained in my last video, and now today in this video I am going to explain the rest part of this chapter. I will also discuss question answer of this chapter. Okay, so today is the second and last video of this chapter. Then, to his amazement, he realized that the room appeared to be empty. He and his wife looked under the desk and behind the curtains and even up the chimney. So, when he committed theft in clergyman's house, then clergyman as well as his wife started looking for Griffin. So then, to his amaze, he realized that the room appeared to be empty. They found the room appeared to be empty. He and his wife looked under the desk. Clergyman and clergyman's wife looked under the desk and behind the curtains and then up the chimney. So they looked for Griffin everywhere in the room. Anybody, but they could not find anyone. Yet the desk had been opened and the housekeeping money was missing. So they found no one in the room. There was no one in the room. Even then their desk had been opened and their housekeeping money was missing. Extraordinary affair. The clergyman kept on saying for the rest of the day. So the clergyman, he kept on saying extraordinary affair, and but he found no one in the extraordinary affair for him. So he kept on saying the not as extraordinary behavior of Mrs. Hall's furniture a little later that morning. So further the narrator says that, the author says that it was not as extraordinary as the behavior of Mrs. Hall's furniture a little later that morning. So that morning what happened to next with the Mrs. Hall's furniture? It was more extraordinary than that. Okay, the landlord and his wife were up very early. So what happened next? In that morning, the landlord and his wife, they woke up early in the morning that day and were surprised to see the scientist's door wide open. So they found that Griffin's door was wide open. Usually it was shut and locked. So mostly Griffin's door kept shut and locked, but this time it was wide open. So it was very surprising for them, and he was furious if anyone entered his room. So usually Griffin's rooms remains shut, and if anyone enters his room, so he gets angry. The opportunity seemed too good to be missed. So for them, for Mrs. Hall as well as her husband, it was an opportunity to enter the room and investigate. So they peeped round the door, saw nobody, and decided to investigate. So they peeped into the room and they found nobody. Was and all the people curious to know. That is why the bed clothes were cold. So they found that the bed clothes were cold, showing that the scientist must have been up for some time. So as it was winter and the bed clothes were closed, so it was showing that The scientist must have wake up for some time, and stranger still, the clothes and bandages that he always wore were laying about the room. So the bandages and the clothes which he used to wear usually, they were laying about the room. All of a sudden, Mrs. Hall heard a sniff close to her ear. So suddenly Mrs. Hall heard a sniff close to her ear, someone taking breath. A moment later, the hat on the bedpot leaped up and dashed into her face. So what happened? A moment later, a hat on the bedpot, so bedpot means any of four upright support of bed. Okay, any of four upright support of bed, so that is bedpot. Okay, so what happens suddenly? Then the bedroom yes, a moment later, the hat on the bedpot leaped up. The hat which was kept on the bedpot, it jumped up and dashed itself into her face, and it dashed into Mrs. Hall's face. Then the bedroom chair became alive, and then the bedroom chair, it became alive. Now it is living thing, surprising into the air. Sorry beta, springing, not surprising, springing into the air, it charged straight at her legs foremost. So the chair springing into the air, okay, it charged straight at Mrs. Hall's leg foremost. Foremost, means most famous or important, best, leading, front part. Okay, so it hurt at the front part of Mrs. Hall's leg. As she and her husband turned away in terror, the extraordinary chair pushed them both out of the room and then appeared to slam and lock the room after them. Then what happened? As she and her husband turned away in terror, so they were feeling terror, they were afraid of, okay, they were in great terror. Then what happened? The extraordinary chair pushed them both out. So that extraordinary chair which became alive, it pushed them both out of the room and appeared to slam and lock the door after them. Slam means to shut or make something very loudly. Then it shut the door very loudly and lock it from inside. Okay, Mrs. Hall fell down the stairs in hysterics. So Mrs. Hall fell down in the stairs in hysterics. Hysterics means an expression of extreme fear that makes somebody lose control of himself or herself. Okay, so an expression of extreme fear, so that is hysteric. Okay, a worldly emotion or an exaggerated reaction. So Mrs. Hall fell down the stairs in hysteric. She was convinced that the room was haunted by spirits. So she started believing that the room was haunted by some spirits, and that the stranger had somehow caused these to enter into the furniture, and she believed that according to her opinion, it was done by that strange scientist Griffin. My poor mother used to sit in that chair. She moaned. So moaned means make a long low sound expressing physical or mental suffering. So expressing her physical mental suffering, she said, my poor mother used to sit in that chair. To think it should rise up against me now. So she said the chair on which her mother used to sit, the chair rose up against me now. The feeling among the neighbors was that the trouble was caused by witchcraft. But the feeling among the neighbors was that the trouble was caused by witchcraft. So the neighbors were thinking that this trouble was caused by some witchcraft. You know what is witchcraft? A practice of magic, especially black magic, the use of spells. Okay, but witchcraft or not, when news of the burglary at the clergyman's home became known, the strange scientist was strongly suspected of having had a hand in it. But when the burglary, the theft at the clergyman's home became known, when everyone got to know about it, the strange scientist was strongly suspected of having had a hand in it. So people were suspecting about that strange scientist Griffin for having a hand in this theft. Suspicion grew even stronger when he suddenly produced some ready cash, thought he had when he suddenly produced some ready cash, though he had admitted not long before that he had no money. Yes, so suspicion grew even stronger when suddenly he produced some ready cash. Suddenly he had some ready cash, though before some days he had admitted that he had no money, but now he had money. So that is why suspicion grew even stronger that only he had theft at clergyman's house. The village constable was secretly sent for. So the people called village constable secretly. Instead of waiting for the constable, Mrs. Hall went to the scientist, who had somehow mysteriously appeared from his empty bedroom. So the village constable was secretly he was called. Instead of waiting for the constable, Mrs. Hall went to the scientist. Okay, went to the scientist who had somehow mysteriously appeared from his empty bedroom. So the scientist was appearing mysteriously from his empty bedroom. He was not on his in his bedroom. The scientist was not in his bedroom, and he mysteriously appeared there. Okay, so earlier he was not there, but when she went there, he appeared mysteriously. I want to know what you have been doing to my chair upstairs. So she asked the scientist, she asked Griffin what he had been doing to his chair upstairs, she demanded. So, and I want to know, it was you came out of an empty room. I want to know how it is you came out of an empty room and how you entered a locked room. So further she asked, let me know, how did you enter an empty room and how did you come out? How did you come out of an empty room and how did you enter a locked room? So she asked him, the scientist, Griffin. The scientist was always quick temper. So that scientist was, he was always quick temper. He becomes angry if anyone asks him anything. Now he became furious. Now he became very angry. Now the scientist had become very angry. You don't understand who or what I am, he shouted. And then he shouted, you cannot understand who or what I am. Very well, I will show you. Further he said, I'll show you. Suddenly he threw off bandages, whiskers, spectacles, and even nose. So suddenly, one by one, he started throwing off the things with which he had covered his face. Bandages, whiskers, spectacles, and false nose. It took him only a minute to do this. So, to throwing off, to taking off all these things, it took only a minute to do this. The horrified people in the bar found themselves staring at a headless man. Now, when he threw off all these things, his head, his upper part of his shoulder once again had disappeared. So that is why people, in the horrified people in the bar, they found themselves staring at a headless man. Now the people found a headless man there. They were staring at a headless man, the man who had no head. Mr. Jeffers, the constable, had arrived and was quite surprised to find that he had to arrest a man without a head. Mr. Jeffers, the village constable, now he had arrived, but he was quite surprised that he had to arrange, he had to arrest a man who was without head. But Jeffers was not easily prevented from doing his duty. But Jeffers was a person who could not be stopped, easily from doing his duty. If magistrate's warrant ordered a person's arrest, then that person had to be arrested. So for him, if it was magistrate's order to arrest someone, then he must arrest the person, okay, with or without his head, whether the person is with head or whether the person was without head. There followed a remarkable scene as the policeman tried to get hold of a man who was becoming more and more invisible as he threw off one garment after another. So now it was a remarkable scene as he was taking off his clothes one by one and becoming more invisible. As he threw off one garment after another. So finally a shirt flew into the air. So at the end a shirt flew into the air and the constable found himself struggling with someone he could not see at all. Now the constable Jeffer found himself struggling with a person whom he could not see at all. Some people tried to help him but found themselves hit by blows and seemed to come from nowhere. So some people tried to help the constable Jeffers, but they received blows and they did not know from where those blows were coming. In the end, Jeffers was knocked unconscious as he made a last attempt to hold on to the unseen scientist. So in the end, Jeffers was knocked unconscious. Okay, so because he made a last attempt to hold on to the unseen scientist, invisible scientist, as he was trying to catch that invisible scientist. So he was knocked unconscious. There were nervous, excited cries of hold him, but this was easier said than done. So now people were, nervous, and they were they were crying in excitement that hold him, but this was easier said than done. So it is easy to say to hold him, but it was very difficult to hold such person who could not be seen. So Griffin had shaken himself free, and no one knew where to lay hands on him. Once again, Griffin had become, disappeared, and now no one knew where to lay hands on him, from where hold him. So thus once again Griffin got rid of those people of Iping and left the place. So once again they could not hold Griffin. So it's all about the story, it's all about the scientist Griffin, as you have seen. So how he discovered some rare medicines, and he swallowed the medicines, and finally he became disappeared. So after disappearing, so what adventurous acts he did, so we have seen in the story. So this is written by H.G. Wells. Actually beta, it is a whole novel, so it's a small extract has been taken from the novel The Invisible Man, written by H.G. Wells. Okay, so now let us discuss question answers of this chapter and other exercises. Think about it. Griffin was rather a lawless person. Comment. So Griffin was rather a lawless person, so we have to comment on it. So beta, as we have seen in the chapter The Invisible Man, Griffin first became visible when he accidentally stepped into some mud, and his footprints started becoming visible to two boys who followed him until his footprints fainted and became invisible again. He got rid of them and spent a night at a large London store, where he wore some clothes and slept on a pile of quilts. So the next morning, when he was still sleeping, so the store assistants started coming and saw him, which was actually the first time he was seen. Later, after reaching Iping, he set fire. Before leaving London, he set his landlord's house in fire, and then after reaching, Iping, so he stole money from clergyman's house. He also behaved strangely with Mrs. Hall. So all these things tell us that he was a rather lawless person. He was a person who did not follow law, he did not obedient law. Okay, so it's an only simple answer. You can write more creative answer from your side. Okay, so how would you assess Griffin as a scientist? So you have to describe whole incident, what he did. So finally we can say that he was not a good scientist because he had discovered something very important and which could be very useful for development of the country, okay, but instead, doing so, he misuses his power. He would have used his power in development of the nation, but he did not do so. So thus we can assess that Griffin was not a good scientist, he was a lawless person. So further you can add your more opinion and in order to answer these questions. Talk about it. Would you like to become invisible? What advantages and disadvantages do you foresee? If you did, so you have to do on your own. So are there forces around us that are invisible? For example, magnetism. Are there aspects of matter that are invisible or not visible to the naked eye? What the world be like if you could see such forces or such aspects of matter? So it will also be done by you. So what makes glass or water transparent? What is the scientific explanation for this? So do you think it would be scientifically possible for a man to become invisible or transparent? Keep in mind that writers of science writers of science fiction have often turned out to be a prophetic in their imagination. So also it will be done by you. So do all the questions, write creative answers, okay. So all the questions to be answered by you using your creative brain, okay. So it's all about the chapter. So complete your notebook and enjoy your vacation. Thank you for watching it.